Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining Archangel Alts trading with you live without a net. And if your name is Annette, sorry about that, you can join us too. Live without a net, we are trading with you using no stop loss, trying to make very careful, calculated, informed decisions about our positions so we don't mind holding them if they have to extend to more than 2 weeks. But so far so good. We're holding very little. OST decided to stop at 614, I believe, before clearing most recent stuff. That was 24-hour high from now, but there was 610. I was almost certain I saw 614 in there somewhere. Did I not? Well, that is the one. Anyway, so not too far off there, but now it's kind of doing a little bit of a drop like we see a lot of the others doing. So we'll have to wait for the next round there. Would have been really nice to put a ridiculously low position there. Very good chance that means that there's going to be a mirror of that whenever it's ready to pop. So that's cool. Or keep an eye on Ion. It's way too convenient. Okay, TNT. Really like TNT. So once I kind of get in the roll, get in the movement, get in the wave, catch the wave, trading the tradability of things, get the mouth rolling, working properly. Face don't work so good. Okay. So welcome to Archangel Alts. We're here to trade with you live without a net. Looks like some pretty good movement. It's very interesting how TNT has been doing really well despite the low volume. And I've noticed that some things that are pretty heavy on volume are not really trading all that well. Bitcoin is slowing down, guys. It's about another 4 million slowdown from about 20 minutes ago. So a lot of the heaviest trading has already happened and will start to taper off unless there's a new tour de force coming. Careful, interesting. USD XLM. Seemed like it was a little bit too steady, not quite enough of a range there. Yeah, I still feel that way about it. ZIL, is it just doing better than normal, or is there a pump going on? Doesn't look like it's a pump. IOST. How much do OST? So yeah, we waited it out to go from 197 to 199. Happy to be done with that. But the volume is continuing to be really good, and it looks like it hiked with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is coming down, but it's not hurting it too terribly much. So guys, if you find this video, please subscribe, ring the bell so you get our updates, and come join our community. These live trading sessions are going to be more and more intense for the paid membership. That's everything is unlimited all the time. We're only doing 99 recurring month. That breaks it down to like basically a value of $3 a day for intensive training. You'll learn all the charts, all of the indicators. We'll talk you through the completely transparent process while we're trading, and some of those will remain unlisted. Some of those will let people see after the effect, so they won't get that minute by minute value from it. So waves, gosh, I get too busy at the wrong time and I miss out. But actually we want to wait until it's a little bit safer move anyway. So I'm happy to see waves on its way up. It looks like it's continuing up despite the fact that Bitcoin has changed position. So just out of curiosity, I don't think that we're looking to get a full 70 from there yet, but it's got room for about 3.5 times of a trade. Try about there. And what I'm just looking for is to see what its liquidity is like. So when things get extreme, coins have no problem running down, grabbing the position, and then jumping back up. Haven't seen much of that in a really long time, but I sure do miss it. Craving some really good activity live on the Binance Exchange. 7177. And this one, I'm going to let it sit there and see what happens. Okay, it definitely recognized ours getting added to the queue. So that's pretty cute. So I would really actually look for 72.50 to 73.50. That's more than we really need from a single position. It's still steadily going up. You know, technically, even 30 points would be enough. So it's not an extreme amount of liquidity yet, but I think it's pretty impressive. Okay, it's starting to pick us up on its radar, getting closer. Kind of exciting. So, you know, it's not a very wide range that it's covering, but it's a pretty fast range, so it could get to 33 really fast. And that's kind of the thing, is that people's expectations in between all those positions. I like seeing a lot of positions at a lower value, which means that it can clear them quicker, which means that it picks up steam very easily. So we're coming up to meet where it is, and you know, I don't want to trade on the peak, but I have watched waves enough to kind of have an expectation for it to hit 7,500, and it looks like it's coming up from a couple of days low. So once it hit that 6,900, it probably should have already gone in, but you know, you see 7,400 is really easy for it to do right there. And it's not just, you know, that constant steady decline that everything is doing. The peaks are pretty consistently impressive. The next one I don't think is going to be as big, but even if it gets to 7,600, that's a pretty big deal. So let's test it at 44. It's going to come in right around here. So I don't know if you notice that things speed up after every single one of those things happens. So now I'm going to test even smaller positions. Didn't change that. Okay. Let's actually do 5. 6. So I'm not so desperate to get in that I want to keep chasing it upwards. I just think that 7,200 to 7,300 is a pretty good range. It's just now hitting its peak on stuff. So I hear our scanner. I don't want to take my hand off there for too long, but I hear our scanner. BCD, DLT, QLC, Yo-Yo, TNT. So I'm going to check out TNT out of those. What can I say? I've got a soft spot for TNT. It doesn't quite sound right, but you know what I mean. 397. So it's a pretty narrow range that it's doing right now. 395 to 398 would be really good. It's too narrow for right now. And if this starts to come down, then I will kind of chase it down until I feel like it's the right entry. But there's a chance that it just keeps doing this pattern. It's done that a lot. It's like, you know what, I'm in the mood to do this. And then it's, you know, it'll sit sideways and go up. And that seems to happen whenever it goes to the low sevens. So we've seen close to double this. And then over here, it was sitting in the fours for a while. That was September. So there it is, sitting higher. Waves is just, it's been coming into its own for a while. I believe they talk about fast transactions as kind of their thing. 89, 10,000. So 10,000 at its peak over there. 12,000 at its peak over here. So I mean, this whole thing I think is a good sign for it in the long term. And its main peak over here was just, it's been around for 2 years. Or more than a year at least. So yeah, just seeing recent activity, I've seen a lot of up and down around 7,500. Doesn't seem to have a hard time doing that. I don't want to be stuck on the high side, so we're not going to let that sit too much longer before checking out some other options. XBG, okay, it's just kind of doing binary right now. Yo, 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 yo. Okay, so yo-yo is coming down, and it's really mimicking. All of this is Bitcoin stuff. So if Bitcoin doesn't keep faltering there, we might be able to get an entry here. That would be pretty cool. Very cool, actually. So with the paid membership, we're going to be doing a lot of individual coin analysis. I'm going to do a few of those in the free. But part of our being able to analyze and learn more and more as we go along is to know more and more about each individual project too. So I'm going to do more of that more in depth with the paid stuff. Everything that I look at as far as information, I want to make sure that anybody that wants to join us for free feels like they know, the basics about getting on Binance, getting their crypto in there, being able to follow things and trade with us, the basics. But for the paid side of things, I want people to feel like they're walking away with a skill that they could use for their lifetime. And, since this takes some of my concentration, actually a pretty good amount of it, away from the actual trading until we have a big group working with us, it needs to be something that can support us in that transition. So it means a lot to us if you consider to join along. We have 98.7% and better accuracy. Now, I could just come in and say, 99% accuracy, but, we're not looking to fake any kind of information, any kind of numbers. These are real figures, and we're scaling back some things a little bit just to make sure that I can handle, paying attention to so many different things. This is continuing to hold up there. So it hit 7,300. 73,000 is actually what it is. Over here at 7,300, over here at 73,000. So they just make it to where it's larger positions that you transition between 7 to 480. It's not really slowing down, it's making smaller up and downs while it's building its liquidity. So a lot of small back and forth. This kind of thing, like, is when it's Ethereum, makes me nervous because this would happen over days. So you really have to hope that that trend continues long enough. When we first started out thinking that, you know, you're supposed to only trade the big coins, we would get really nervous watching it day after day after day. And we had positions that were really low in Ethereum for a while, and we thought that, you know, if it's a big coin, you're supposed to be able to have that much more confidence in things. Didn't realize how wide things spread. But then once it finally came into position, we had like 17 different Ethereum positions clear. So, you know, finally it was a good thing, but nerve-wracking nonetheless. 433. So I don't really trade Ethereum much because I want to move much quicker. 420, yo. No. Error, network disconnected. Well, don't do that. Okay, you're back. So we really only need 2 or 3 out of this. I'd like to get 4 points. Need to look at the lifetime on this real quick. Take your own advice, dude. So recently it's been pretty easy to do the high 4s. 300s through Christmas. And is that up to 11, 14? Of course it is. So we were doing fine and dandy until Bitcoin Cash scared everybody. How does that work? Well, join and you'll find out. So here we go. This was another. Okay, so I'm not terribly concerned about just trying to get in and out with a single position here. It's not unheard of in the mid 4s for sure. So I do hear thunder in the background, so that would be kind of bad to be in the middle of a position, wouldn't it? And that's still doing what it's doing. 432. Okay. Yes, there is absolutely a method to my madness. And, you know, another thing that I will make the point of every once in a while is that it's not like I think that my way is the only way. A lot of people are making money attacking things differently from a different perspective. Our thing is that, you know, we're combining the value of what people would do with smart longer-term investments with the process of day trading, because the best positions are best positions go up and down and up and down and up and down, and if you're just letting your money sit, you're just holding a position that isn't gaining value in the midst of all that. Ideally, I mean, I would love to see that there were like 2 or 3 coins that always had the right, you know, magical combination of volume and value and tempo and range that they cover, that, you know, it could just kind of follow them up and down all day, every day. Unfortunately, it shifts so much, you really have to keep your eye on everything all the time. So I added the win Lambo thing just kind of as a fun little poke at the, you know, general consensus of questions that people ask out there. I was reading an interesting article earlier, somebody that is succeeding in doing much of what we're trying to do, not on the live trading side, but just in commenting about the industry in general. So I know that a lot of the ICOs are on Telegram, and a lot of the pump dump stuff is on Discord. But the more serious community, smaller communities, but more serious communities tend to center around Slack, and I can definitely see why. I really like what they have set up. There's actually somebody, I haven't looked into what they've been doing recently, but they have a setup process for teams. It's called System Hub. And I mean, I'm perfectly happy where we are. Also, like, people use Asana and some other stuff like that. So I think we're probably already in here and trying to clear out of anything that it might swing way down to grab stuff. So we definitely we poked at the nest and now it's dropped down there, which is a good thing if we got it at a good value. So Bitcoin is still headed down 39.48, and the 24-hour volume is at 189. So we're going down in the millions. As far as where the volume is not anything to worry about. 432, 345. Let's just put it there. Matters more to me not to be holding stuff than it does to get some massive profit from these things. If I see it going up there quickly, I might adjust it. Something to keep in mind that is, if you do kind of move things around, you want to try to get more and more. The order book is weighed towards everybody's position. So if yours is significant enough, it doesn't take much to throw it off. So you have to be a little bit careful there. All right, so that's the idea. That's the idea. I don't mind if this adjusts things a little bit. So we'll see. And there's the adjustment right there. Keep on rolling. Okay, and waves is just still going up. Still going up. So I want to wait for a peak where it has to correct and then come back so it's safer to get in. I'm actually going to go ahead and... It's not really serving a purpose to us right now, but we will see that it'll... It's kind of hovering there. All right, so it's your time. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. All right, so it's still hovering in that range because Bitcoin hasn't decided what it's going to do in that range. I think, well, the volume says differently, but I think that it's coming up some now. So very much linked to what Bitcoin's doing. It looks like it's able to pull from 428 to resolve some of the higher stuff, so that's pretty cool. All right. You can hear a lot of stuff is. up and down and up and down. Scanner's talking a lot today. ETC down, DLT down, waves up. Here we go. Yay. So I'm going to pull those out for now. And we're going to take a look at OST real quick. Not real thrilled with what it's been doing. Need it really exactly 100 up. So here's its weakening, but here's really where I think it belongs. You can see the volume and the trend are kind of crossing over right there. And yes, I know that this is a big jump and it is kind of headed down where it was before, but the thing is that the whole market is, you know, in a self-correction place. It's time. It's not bull time for sure, but every time it crests here, it finds its way back to that same pattern. There's a reason for that. It's worth more than what its connection to Bitcoin is kind of allowing for. Hashtag decoupling. No, not so much. So we got to. Oh, and also you can see that it paid for the fees using Yo-Yo, so that's why the amount filled is slightly different. DLT is up, CDT is up. We must celebrate our victory. And the one that makes me laugh, I don't know why, it's just funny to me. Yay. Okay. I like to ring the cowbell. So we can look at the value of that. We went, I mean, these are not large trades, but we 3832 to 56 says $1,110. So we're looking at I think about $2, maybe $3. Not anything big, you know, it's more about just working the process and showing that it does what it does. So, you know, if you were putting 1,000 on that, it would be more. If you put 5,000 on that, it would be more. But the idea is to make small, careful moves and to continuously do so. So we want to be having, you know, steadily more like $100, $200, $300 days. And we've been in the $40, $50, $70, $80 range for a while before the launch. You know, right now we're having to just keep our eyes on a lot of different things. So what does this look like in a minute to minute? Okay, so there's a fairly safe drop there. This is kind of what we're waiting for, but I'm just not sure what it thinks in terms of proximity to Bitcoin. So 3270 to 7230 to 7330. 72. I'm going to try 33 here. Okay, well, wait until I finish my thought. Okay. And that range that it's covering right there, 18. Seven, 2, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would go much higher than that. $37 is getting closer and closer. We've got a pretty large amount on there now if it does drop any lower, so not sure. I want to be the one to be the test for that. Didn't go in yet. So how much lower are you going here? This could be kind of like an echo of where Bitcoin is, or it could be kind of tracking opposite of it. It's really tough to tell right now. It's a pretty strong sell-off, but that is where we want to be. I'm willing to test a pretty strong amount at 7,200, even if it does go all the way down there and grab it. Don't think it's going to, though. So my initial hunch around 37 is probably right. Yeah, I got nervous in it dropping heavier there. If it crossed that line, that would have been pretty bad for us. So maybe we split that risk a little bit. Yeah, 72.27 is probably going to be done with this by the time I've decided whether I'm willing to go in there or not. We did have a little bit of a role to play in speeding that little piece up. So looks like it's only about 0.8 that is holding that line between 7,200 and 7,300. It's breaking up 73.10, so people are earning in there. That's good. Still hasn't finished this trend, so it really could drop down and drop back and pop back up in a very short time. Yeah, see. Very, very, very quick moves. Ours is 270 is where we have a very large chunk. Those are the size trades that I probably should be working on right now. You know what? I tell you what else too. I don't feel like experimenting in this range this early in the game. Yes, it's tough not to have fear of missing out. This should be breaking up or down soon, so that'll be interesting. You know, keep in mind at the end of the day, the thing that matters is whether you were able to get in and out of positions at a profit, not which ones it was, or how crazy the movement was, or how high or low it was when you did it, as long as you got in and out safely. So if it's a smaller, maybe more boring coin, that's okay if it's consistently what you're able to do. So like I was saying, I would love to see something that just consistently moves, around a range of 10 or 12 and just does it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's exactly what we're looking for. It hasn't been that kind of market for a while, so what's the 411 on the yo? While I wait for it to decide there's a little bit of a sign that it's going to break out soon. I'm kind of excited about that. In the meantime, I just want to pop back over to OST real quick, see if it's decided to be nice yet. Not yet. It needs some more volume. It needs some friends on the playground, let's face it. So DNT is sitting pretty flat too. We're going to need it to kind of have a market resurrection. You go, you do. Encash is having a pretty rough time heading in the wrong direction, but it's okay. That's what happens, folks. Phoenix in the 238 range, yep. A very low volume, but man, it had gotten to 255. We were getting so close to clearing. And then 254 the second time around. So this is a pretty decent rally zone for that. 433 is where Yo-Yo is currently sitting. So I'd love to see it yo-yo between like 429 and 436 and do it like 5 or 6 times in an hour. That would be beautiful. That's what I would like to see happen. 425. Okay. And Phoenix is what we're looking at right here. Too high. 233 to 237 range will be really good there. It's a little bit too narrow to be able to get in. IOST! So I don't know if that's a cliff range for it or if it's fairly safe. We shall see. So that was significant, but see, I'm like more thinking in here to 11-ish for IOST. That's, kind of a hurdle to cross through there, so I'm not really expecting it to do it right now. Waves 72.95 still. Yo. 434. So, yeah, I don't think that IOST is going to be something we get into just because there's so much on each position. This could be a long, narrow thing, but if it starts eating through these, then that would be really good. So I always like to test things out of range to see what it's doing with its liquidity. A little bit of our secret process. Not so much a secret when you're just doing it, but the explanation is the gem. GEM. Okay. When we don't know information, we test. We test for more deets. So I'm actually going to come all the way up through there instead of holding any of those positions, except for 422. Okay. So as it's weakening through that range, I'm going to let those sit for just a minute. Two things are popping. Okay, yeah, see there it's picking up. There it is. That's good. So we'll see how high or low it goes. I think a little bit low, maybe in the 428 range. That would be awesome. Storm is up. Waves is up. TNT is up. I like TNT. If it could just get more volume and sustain that for a while, we could make some really, really, really good money. Okay. So it's been stair-stepping. It's ready to improve, possibly. We're going to test it in a fairly safe range to begin with. And there's the shift. It's only got about 100 BTC, 24-hour volume on the Binance Exchange. What just popped? 394. So DNT is up, Nano is down. I believe DLT is the one that was kind of at the top of the list of things. Yeah, 30% up. 304. That was a pretty substantial hop up there. So I will test you over here as well and see. What's up? Back to you. Did I say 428? I did. So I don't think we held it there yet. No. So I might need a little bit more of our stuff over here. Oh, well, wait for me to make a decision, would you? For 29. Let's see if it's going to grab that or not. I wish I'd done the 428, but I don't think that it fully broke it up, so kind of wouldn't have really mattered anyway. Yo down, ion down, waves is up. So waves is going to do that whole thing we were talking about. Okay. I'm expecting it to be able to grab that 429, but I haven't decided if it's going to or not. Yep, did the whole thing. Isn't that awesome? So I'd prefer that it did it with us getting in the, I think we were at the 727 range. So it did the whole thing. Well, that would have been nice to be in on. That's okay. When you play things cautiously, sometimes you don't get exactly the positions that you want all the time. In fact, most of the time you probably won't. But when you do get them, it's good. Okay, so I'd really like it to come down further. It was at 28, which means that our 29 would have gone through if I had done it just a second faster. So I need to get used to being able to do that quicker, huh? Talking and doing and doing and talking. It's a little bit tougher than chewing gum. $391 could be what it's stepping down to. Okay, something good just happened, I think. Let's find out. Where? Okay. Nope. It was just kind of shifting around for no good reason, I guess. You know what, let's zero out of this stuff. I want to make sure that it didn't put something in that I don't know about. Wow, lots of thunder. Thunder. TNT thunder. You'd think that this was a tribute to AC/DC. Okay, so yeah, it looks like our whole amount is there. So it was just kind of shifting around without having done an order. Sometimes I notice the order book just kind of shifts a little bit. 39.44, and the volume is at 189 million on BTC. This is hitting a narrow range for a while. Other people other than myself saw that 428 thing and try to hop in there. It's getting a little bit too narrow, but curious about that. So I'm going to watch for about 11 seconds and then clear out of it if it's not what I think it is. Wave 73, 88, 89. So that was a right call on waves. It just was a little bit too nervous about getting stuck too high, but it did exactly what I was expecting it to do. So if, sometimes your gut says go for it and mine says be cautious, that's the way it works. Kind of the same thing for yo-yo. I wish I had gotten in at 429. That would have been good. So it's finishing this narrow thing. It's breaking upwards. When it does that teeter-totter, it's usually sometimes easier to get in before it goes to the next position. So now it would need to be 433 to 437. I would really like to see it be able to do that. $427, $28, $29, $30. Still a pretty narrow range there. I don't want to be the example that it makes for the other positions. Playing it very cautious because I've seen how quick these things change and then you're stuck. So waves, wow, huh? Waves is making waves. So if it actually is on the same trajectory when it does this again, I might decide to get in. But so often those are those moves that are just proving that irony exists in trading, where it does something so logical and then you follow the pattern and then it's just like, nope, psych. So this is going to go beyond the 430s. And I do wish that we had gotten in there. What are the chances that it doesn't hit 41 if I go in on 39? It's finishing out from 435. Okay, is that the actual peak or is it just the beginning of the next pattern? I'm going to try 429 again. Oh, it's finishing the pattern too. I'm having a tough time getting in on my own positions. Just I'm second guessing myself because the market has been so tricky. don't know if you noticed, but all of these different coins we're looking at right now are kind of hitting the top of their pattern. So we'll wait for the next pattern to come along. It's just that it's so likely that it's going to do a double up. Triple up actually is what it would be for this one. So I think what I'm going to do is stay on the safe side. I'm not going to regret staying on the same side, on the safe side. Let me take a look at Raven real quick. It's a little bit too weak to continue doing what it's doing. Ah, somebody's already weighing it down there, so there's no point in me trying right now to get in there. Phoenix Rising, yes it is. Very enthusiastic if it can get back in the 250, 260, 270 range. Only covered a range of about 8 right now. With the storm doing what it's doing, I think that I'm going to let us kind of watch this a little bit. I'm going to grab some coffee real quick. We'll see what happens next. Alrighty, so there's a little bit of an up happening there. Let's kind of climb through these real quick. DNT. So spike there. Fuel. Okie doke, so watching to see, I mean, it's very strange today for some reason, and I mean, it'll change in no time, but wow, the MACD is crazy on that. That's weird. The stock RSI is like a flat lined a few times, but it's doing good patterns. We should be seeing something soon here, but I've noticed a lot of these, the ones that are in a healthy amount of trading volume, you know, they're not dropping substantially, but they're moving really slow. And some of the ones in the very low volume are popping a good bit. And not just like a weird pop, but, you know, consistently doing some interesting things. So, bizarre. I'm going to clear out the ones in between here. So I saw it shift on here and here. So it's not so much just knowing how to mirror moves and stuff, but knowing what that means. Yeah, I really wish I'd gotten in on that. I don't know if you heard me say it out loud, but it was going to 41. And it looks like it's actually going to go higher. But see, this is like a triple up. It may or may not be happening there. Waves, good for you. So BTC climbing again. Will it drag things with it or knock them down? Oh, okay, IOST. You know, I tend to try to grab things when they stair step back down on the way up. It's just, to me, it seems like a little smarter way to go. TNT, dynamite, TNT, window fight. So it's only come up a little bit from there. Really want to see this do its thing. Just like go, yum, and then go to like 43. That would be awesome. And yet, I wait. Yeah, that's just really weird. So something just triggered a lot of movement here. I'm trying to grab this. Come on. Vibe is down, waves is up, BCD is down. Yeah, I'm not going to wait around for fuel. It's just weird that it's healthy, but barely moving. If I'm not sure how to read something right now, I best not be waiting for it to do something unexpected. 428. How you doing? 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 441 to 4. Well, so what just popped? Something just popped. DLT again. DLT. It's in the same position as what we're watching, at a slightly different rate. Sorry for the yawns, but at least the mute worked. Zill, not quite enough room there. If it stair steps down again, it could get better. No movement, but it's about to. It's about to. 436, 431, 437 is too high. So remember, I was just saying that 437 was too high, so we're watching for what other stuff is doing right now. I'm going to look at the bottom of the list to see if anything is making any obvious climbs. Poor Poe. At some point in time, that's bound to be a good place to grab it at a good deal. It should be able to be at least in the 129 range, even with its volume as low as it is. See what I mean? I mean, steady, 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 big drop. Made it back up to about 130, and then big drop. So one of these is going to be a really good deal. Do we know which one it is? No, we don't. So I'd rather get this in this range, and about 430 touches on that. 429 was perfect. We did, get our profit from the last one, so that was good. Kind of wanting to give an example of making a bigger meal, a bigger meal. Yeah, I'm hungry. Making a bigger profit on the same percentage, so you can see the difference that makes. I think we made, $2 or $3 on the last one just to get through. And I remember a time where making like $2.40 on a single trade was such a huge deal. But it was also because we were able to do, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 trades in a day. When there's not enough volume to go around, it's a lot tougher to do that kind of stuff. So, even 5 or 6 good trades right now, when you're, trying to do other stuff, is pretty tricky. I'm thinking now about, okay, Ion and Poe is up here. 121, 2, 3. What are the lowest points that it's been hitting? 119. Uh-huh. 122 over there. 107, and that was 911. So kind of thinking 121, not such a bad idea. I don't think I would do quite that much, but we'll put like 260 on 121 on Poe, and we'll check back after a while and see if it does something. Lots of shifting around happening now. I better, let's see. TNT is still towards the low side, but yeah, it's going to take a while for it to finish deciding what to do there. In cash, at least it made it from 45 to 46. Raven's up a tiny bit. It only needed it, I think, 697, something like that. Oy vey. Okay. Phoenix, go ahead and do your 260. That would be really nice. Yo-yo's up. Yo, 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 yo. Is up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If only. Got jealous. Went ahead and ran without me. That's a big deal. So I don't know if this is going up or if it's the others going up, going down. 17.5. Nope, that's too much room for it to have to do. TNT? It's getting into a good range. Oh, that's impressive. Even though I can't see it, you're having problems. There you go. 44 to 47, 45 to 47 or 8. Bitcoin is heading down at spike, and that's causing some of this spikiness, so you have to be really careful. It's amazing how quick this can change. You know, 441 was high only half hour ago. $85 BTC, $86 BTC. It's tough to leave stuff there, but I know that's the right thing to do right now, so I'm just going to leave it. 445, 444. If it starts weakening, then I know how to jump in and out of that. Lind? 54 volume. So it's already done its thing. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit more trade history than that. Sometimes it has trouble updating this stuff. So we'll see. The storms are pretty substantial outside. Another up. That's good. So for several of these, we want to wait until they come back down. That'll also be good. I just don't know if I feel like waiting around for anything that's not interesting to keep watching over time. Barely any movement there for now. But there might be some looming on the horizon. TNT! TNT. $392 to $395 would be good. It's a little bit too narrow for right now. And test it down here, see whether it's got any like instant liquidity kind of thing going on. Probably not. What's gas doing right now? Nothing exciting right now. Golly, IOST. Pretty impressive. So are you headed back up there again? DLT is up again. Ion's down. So what is yo 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 yo? I mean, that's a good trend. Sometimes even when something is thinning out, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have another one in that cycle. It drives people crazy. But 439 is kind of the breaking point on that one. It is on a real, actual upward trend. Raven's up, PCD is up. So yeah, I was saying 439. This is the trend I'm looking for. It was at 427, and then went up and down, and then around here was around 430, 536, and then it's been up and down. And so I'm curious if 27, 36, 39, if that's going to be a good transition, and it looks like it's hovering around there. If I can get in the right place, that'd be really good. Several different things are down. Storm is down. Really like to get another one in here. Yo yo ma, you play your cello. Yo coin. You are too mellow. You go. You do. Not an actual song. Not a lawyer. So let's look at TNT again. Why'd you tell me? Oh, this is just tricky. It's trick to get a position to sell a position to make a profit. Profit is tricky. It's tricky. Probably going to get a signal on TNT now that it's already done what it was doing. Yep. REQ is also up. Interesting. $19 BTC. See, all these things are happening with a very low volume. If you're looking for something slightly more medium term, key is very low at 72. It's been hovering low at 73. So there's definitely some room to get in a position or two there. And that's actually worth a pretty good amount. In fact, with things as slow as they are, so it's got to eat through 3 Bitcoin to finish out 72. And there's a lot of pressure for what it would actually have to sell. But I mean, you can see it's headed for a pretty low point. 71 was its lowest. So I mean, I could see 72 to 74. Really, 72 to 73 is enough to make it worthwhile. Might consider trying a swing trade on key. You're going? I don't know. I just don't know if I want to waste my time doing that. You got a lot of Bitcoin. Put one on key. 72. Sell it at 73. Enough said. All right, so some big sell-off. Bitcoin, another $7 down. The market hasn't really jumped as a result yet. Waves is getting into position, but I mean, that could be 7,100 again. We'll see in a second. BCD is down again. When it drops, it's going to be pretty quickly. Not probably, definitely. It might be an hour before that's really a trusty thing again. Trustworthy, safe, whatever the word is. Yes, sirree. So steam, not until it really makes some waves. Waves, not until it picks up steam. Myth will probably do a few points soon, but its volume is too low for me to want to mess around with that. For now. Okay, Yo-Yo, are you finally going to do something interesting here? Volume's coming down to there as well. If I'm not already in on some of it, I need to probably reduce it down a little bit. 0.2, 0.16. See what Yo-Yo is doing. Still trying to find its base there. 72, 330 to 73 is really all I would need to do. What would happen if somebody came in here with a very small amount? 7226 and 7222. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so back over to probably not getting into Yo-Yo up there is, I mean, TNT, it's hovering a little bit. I'm probably going to regret not being able to be at all those places at the same time. Not that I couldn't, it's just not the smartest way to go about doing it. So 39 to 70, I really would rather get it around there. Waves is about to grab ours, I believe. If I allow it to, 72.25. Well, I mean, it's still headed down. Let's see. I'd like it to find where the actual bottom is. 72.12. We'll see. 38. We'll see. Bitcoin's still at about a 189 million volume. We're watching our waves is coming closer and closer. Not sure where the bottom's going to be on this one. And I'm not overly concerned about the value of it so much as just, you know, I don't want to keep checking to see if it's going to go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So we're in a little bit, probably at 72.20, 226. 7226. I'm going to put that in. Oops. Let's see. Full screen browser. 7226. 7226. Actually going to look at 0.9 for that. 7291. So I'm actually going to make it 7300. So I'm going to sell that at 7301. Storm is up again. Still hanging at 440 there. That may be the actual bottom. See, it's really going to depend on whether Bitcoin bottoms out or if it keeps doing a slow and steady. Bitcoin is on like a second dip. Let me show you this real quick. You can see it's boom, boom, and it's kind of not sure if it's going to bounce off of that 39.40 and then come back up or not. We'll see. So I know 7,100 is probably more than it's going to bottom out there. It looks like it's about to pop from where it is. It's just that when it does that, we need it to very quickly recover 60 or 70. And with Bitcoin going down, it concerns me that it'll slow that process down. And anything that slows the process down runs the risk of getting into a different pattern before it clears where we want it to go. All of these things are true. Ion is down again. Okay. Wow. Isn't that hilarious? I mean, it's like Yo-Yo with its 359 BTC ends up being the easier, quicker deal. Interested in doing that again, are you? Wow. Very impressive. Yep, that was Yo-Yo. Okay, so we are actually going to try to get in that if it's really quick. 450 to 453 maybe. 449. Let's spread this a little bit across some of these. $48. My goodness. Okay, let's just see where we are now. And hopefully that'll be a good move. Let's see. So we've got our waves that we're hoping around 73 is a very small amount. Yo-Yo at 450. So And Bitcoin is going crazy. It broke that 39.40, so it dumped really hard. Not the best timing for that, but the rebound for it might be a good up. We'll see. We now have a lot riding on that going ahead and popping upwards. Ion is up. And there we go. Uh-huh. Very good. So I'm going to clear out of this stuff. And we still have a very small position in waves that we're hoping waves will start to move up. DLT is up. So the value of that waves position is only about 30. So that 30 should look there. So I'd actually like to know how well that did for us. That should be pretty good. Okay, so now I'll be waiting. Waves is going down before it goes up. That's all right. Wait, it's not all right, but it's all right. But I am curious if there's something to get in there. So we got to celebrate. We bought and sold our yo. Woohoo! Very, very cool. Good stuff. I need to get out a cowbell and do that because that's got 39,000 views. Now, why would somebody give thumbs down for a cowbell being wrong? People are so weird. Good hobby. Okay, there we go. There's a drop. There's a drop. Alrighty. So we'll just count on at some point in time waves doing what it has been typically reliable to do. You can see that that happens very quickly. 2000 BTC 24-hour volume. So wait this cycle out just a little bit. Okay, there's a little bit of a holding down there, but I don't think that it's done because I don't think Bitcoin is done. So, you know, it's getting close to like the traditional market close. So I don't know if people are just nervous about certain things or what the deal is. So I'm actually going to put our own floor here at 71.11. And I'm going to come up from there. It's a really narrow range here. You saw how quick it can go 10 down, 10 down, 10 down. It's actually a sharper amount than what, well, no, it's not really steeper in comparison. So we'll see. It looks like it's holding around 71.71, but that doesn't mean that it won't, you know, do this. So this weakening is actually a bigger concern to me than this right here. That's kind of a combination of it right up there. The volume is chasing it down as well. Okay. It's looking more and more like the 71.70 range is where it might recover a little bit. Well, we're waiting, anticipating, looking for Bitcoin to stop dropping. But it's not done. It might be heading for 3,800. We shall see. Come on. Let's do something good. You know? Okay, so there's a lot of people buying back in at 39.25. Something just popped upwards. Something else just popped up. That's BCD again. TNT. You wait until I'm not watching, and then you do your thing. Hyperfocus. Sometimes a good thing, sometimes less so. So this is TNT responding. Not, you know, a huge amount. Gosh, that would have been good to grab too. So the 7150s is still going down. ZIL is down. DLT is down. BCD is down. Have you noticed the BCD just goes up and down and up and down a lot? But it's not a binary sized coin. Wow. Okay, so with this, we have to lob the last two positions off. So like going from 196 to 198 wouldn't be such a bad thing. And for that reason, it's always going to have whole numbers that you see over here. So you see those last two digits changing. It could change by that amount if they allowed it to, but they're not allowing it to. And I personally think that's a good thing. So 196 to 197 would be perfectly fine. Okay, Bitcoin selling off harder. Let's see, DLT down, BCD down, RCN is up. BCD up. Oh, it's just now reporting that one. Yeah. Still holding around 71.53. So, but I mean that is 20 down from the 71.70. So, I mean it is fairly significant. I don't know that it has to go all the way back down. It's on its like fourth downward pattern. There it goes, 38.99. So it's part of a short. This could have several different cycles that it does that. Fortunately, we've already had our nice buy and sell. We look over here. We got it in and out of our yo. So happy about that. We just have our one position in waves, and it's worth about $33 Bitcoin world, $36 in the wonderful world of Bitcoin. Everything's going down. Zill, Yo-Yo, DLT, Nano. Please help me, I'm falling because of Bitcoin. Yeah. Smooth falling markets brought to you by Bitcoin. So somebody's wanting to sell before, I guess, today's 5 o'clock cutoff or 4. Yeah, I'll have to look into the times of the exchanges again. $3,900. So we've lost about $55 in value on Bitcoin through this process. And there, you know what? Yeah, I need to keep my eyes on yo. TNT is up. So seriously, 432. Wow, that was good. That was really good. Okay, so TNT is really close to picking up our position there. Now I'm kind of weighing it between Yo-Yo and TNT. Which one is the slower of the two, the more dangerous of the two? And then Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, because it's probably the opposite of that one. Dude, wow. I don't think we've gone in more. Nope, we haven't gone in more waves. Just not sure when it's going to say, you know what, enough is enough. Like, Bitcoin's come back up another 10. And that's not enough to stop the waves fall. So I'm going to let waves figure out where it's going. I don't need to be the one that takes the risk on it. TNT 391, and I think I like N. That was at the beginning of the month, last month. All of this is really, really relatively low. I mean, it bottomed out at 222. But it's a full 10th of its range over here. Like, what, this time last year? Here we have 1600. Just take a walk through to August and September. Even that is still, pretty much higher than where it is right now when it had a super drop. SNM is up. DLT is up. Waves is still finding its bottom. Where to put my bottom? I think I like Yo-Yo better. So Yo-Yo has had in the 340s instead of the 400s, so I had to be careful of that. $480 is pretty easy for it to do. 460. And then this gets us into, this was the hard fork. Scared a lot of folks. So we're at the low point of the hard fork, and I do believe that it is recovering, so I'm not terribly concerned about being in the 430s. I'd like to see it decide on its own where its own base is going to be. Take one more look at TNT before making my final decision. 3, oh. It's a second down for that. Holding at 71.38. So funny because it's like I was going to go ahead and end this live cycle, but it's a pretty exciting time here. Five is down, ONT is down. That's all for now. So just to make the cliffhanger even that more exciting, I'm going to leave those positions that I'm looking at right now in. I'm going to keep the 391. I'm going to put in 434. Very large. 434, several $1,000s on 434. I think 71.35 might be the bounce if Bitcoin continues to come back up. 71.36, 71.25. 7,000, it came down to 69. Vibe is up. So it was as, wow, that's crazy. So it was not quite double, but down here it was like 2 where that was 5. That's pretty crazy. So we'll see whether that happened around the, nope. Yeah, I don't want to take too much for granted. I'm making a lot of assumptions that it's really worth the 7,000 range. It could fall off that cliff at any time, and then we'd be waiting a long time for recovery. I don't think I am going to put in at 125. I think that it needs to prove that it can do what it's going to do. Because, I mean, that's a pretty steep drop. Oh, my goodness. Well, look at me for talking. That's what I'm talking about, liquidity. That is absolutely insane. Waves is up. Really? Waves is up, you say? Storm is down. Riding the storm out. Wow. Okay. And again, I say, it's amazing how quickly something can change like that. So 7, it really should be in the 71.50 range. So it's going to go back down there. See how close that is? I wasn't really even think of it in terms of the order book, but 71.45. Raven down, VIB down. Waves up, BCD down. Glad we had this chat. So it really is heading back up. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. 71, 77, 71, 88. Main thing is we want to catch the right trend at the right time. Get in and out. Doesn't matter what it was worth 2 seconds ago or 20 minutes ago. And if we don't catch it, then it looks like we might box it in and get our other position cleared, and that's just fine too. Still 392. That's its low volume having trouble eating through those positions. Meanwhile, that, and meanwhile, that. Please tell me that I had that all recorded. I don't know if we did the audio on that. You know what? We're going to celebrate again just to make sure. We sold our waves. Yay! And the one that cracks me up. Okay. So I'm either on record twice for that or once. It just depends. Something else is going up. Someone else's are going ups. Yo-Yo and RCN. Okay, I'm leaving that there, but I am going to go check Yo-Yo. BCD is up again. 441. I don't think that we went in on that. No. That's like a fraction of stuff, yeah. Okay, isn't that interesting that it's able to move that much with not really all that significant amount of volume? Okay, there's the 214. Well, show me. That's my money. Okay. Here we go. That is our position. No, no, no. IOTX is down, TNT is up. $3.97. Let it simmer. That seems to me like a late reaction from Bitcoin doing its $30 stretch. Let's look at IOST one more time. And we're going to look at Yo-Yo one more time. Well, wave since it's there. 72 again. Okay. So Yo-Yo, what are you thinking of doing? Somewhere in that range or that range would be really good, but I don't think it's going down there. Check IOST again. It's got 2 BTC more before ours goes in. Is it still going down though? May not have a lifetime to make a decision on that. A little bit on the high side. That concerns me a little bit. How far back though? It's been a long time down there. It was worth less than it is now before the Bitcoin cash crash. It is on a really good upward trajectory. I don't think that it's smart for me to leave that there. So IOTX is on the way up. TNT. Really 392, 3, yeah, that's where we're already putting in. Seems like the smart thing to do. Yo, 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 yo. Went 441, 442. Bitcoin is kind of losing a little bit of its oomph again. Okay, so there's the bounce. I don't think that it's got what it takes to do a full 100 right now. I'd rather, if I'm going to take that much risk with it, I would rather do it with larger money in a safer time. Yo-Yo is up 11%. I don't know how much more it's going to do. TNT hovering. Really rather see it around here than get in there. So I think for now we're going to hold our money. We're going to give it a little bit of a break, see what kind of crazy thing Bitcoin does next, and then we'll cover it from there. So guys, for now, Archangel Alts out. Thank you for following us. Please subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell, go to Archangel Alts, join us. We're going to be doing very advanced live trading stuff in the private group, and we'd love you to be involved. We'll do like deeper coin analysis, more extensive news, just really keep pushing all that stuff. So God bless you guys, and I will see you soon. Archangel Alts